Hello everyone, it's Omar and welcome back to another One Piece Cruise video. Today we're back for more teams for the Kizuna Clash vs Kid on the 10-star difficulty. This time I'm actually using a bit of a different type of team that one of my alliance mates, or should I say ex-alliance mates, suggested that I do, because he does enjoy these types of teams where it's a split between getting XP from Marco and then also getting tickets from the friend captain of being the new recruit character. So that's what we are doing today. We are running teams that use the new Kaido recruit as our friend captain to get increased ticket drops. We'll also be using the free-to-play card game Luffy, who also gives a 1.1x ticket drop in this Kizuna. So this is the best possible boost for tickets that you can get without pulling on the new Sugafest. So if you want to get a good amount of tickets as well as XP, then use these teams. They work past level 30, and the damage should also be really good considering that Kaido gives us a lot of damage. So all these teams, Captain Marco and friend Captain Kaido, and they aren't the most accessible, but they are pretty accessible. They don't use any like super restrictive characters. So let's get straight into it, starting off with the first variant against the strength variant. So this one is going to be using quick sign-in characters that get special charged. So all of our characters here get their cooldowns besides Luffy, but don't worry about him. He is a boosted character, so he gets quest cooldown from simply being a boosted unit. So don't worry about him not being ready on the final stage. The reason why we are using Kaido instead of the other rare recruit from the Kizuna batch is because Kaido is the only one that works well with Marco. So yeah, the crocodile isn't going to work. You need to make sure that you use Kaido. So how this team works is we are running mono powerhouse with the exception of Luffy. It is a strength boss, so we are running two quick characters, and then obviously Kaido himself is a quick character, but even on the other teams he does deal a rainbow damage. So even though he's not a type advantaged unit, he'll still be dealing type advantaged damage. On stage 2 there is a 5-10 damage reduction with a full board of block orbs. How we are going to get around this is we're going to use the special of our Luffy. So Luffy is going to get around all 5 turns of the damage reduction, and then we can use the special of Whitebeard. Versus Whitebeard will give us a full board of tandem orbs, as well as a bunch of chain buffs that will also carry over into the final stage. So versus Whitebeard is an excellent unit, because if I had to have one unit for just getting around those block orbs, it seems a bit redundant, so that's why I used him. He's going to help us immensely with chain on the final stage, giving us a chain boundary, as well as a chain growth rate, which goes amazingly with Marco's chain boost. That's about it. We can move on. Actually, first also use Marco's special in this turn. He'll give you an attack boost, and then in the following stage he'll give you a chain boost. The reason why we aren't using him on the final stage is because Kaido gives an attack boost, so we don't really need Marco's. So we're just going to save Kaido for the final stage and use Marco on stage 2. So stage 2, just use your Luffy, Whitebeard, as well as Marco, and then on the final stage we'll use the rest of our specials. Final stage, 50,000 damage we are hit with, and we should be able to easily tank that. There's no reason why we shouldn't be. Then there is a 5-turn damage threshold, which becomes 6 turns after level 30. Kaido gets around all 6 turns of the threshold, as well as the attack down, which is also 6 turns. So 5 turns after level 30. So we don't have to worry about most of the debuffs. Kaido is really good to get around all the debuffs in this particular quest. We also have to get around 5 turns recovery bind, as well as a 1-turn increased damage taken after level 30. Both of those can be completely negated with potential abilities. So Jack himself has the potential ability to reduce both recovery bind and the increased damage taken. So just make sure on all of your characters, at least one of them has the potential ability to get around recovery bind, and one has the potential ability to get around the increased damage taken. Though we don't even really have healing here, so don't worry about the recovery bind. Just make sure you can get that increased damage taken negated, because we do have a 100,000 fixed damage upon death that the enemy will deal to us. So we do need to make sure that we can tank that. We use Jack to get around the enemy's nullification, and then we use the special of Katakuri to give us an orb boost, as well as a base attack boost for our powerhouse units. Remember, we have all those chain buffs from our Whitebeard as well as our Marco. So on the chain front we're really good. An orb boost and base attack boost from Katakuri, as well as an attack boost from our Kaido. So that's a pretty good team. Yeah, we have very good synergy between our characters here, and yeah, that's about it for this quest. Let's get into the next variant, which is against the Psy variant. So for this one, we are using a mostly in team, quite obviously. Striker, shooter, and driven characters are getting their specials charged. Now, unfortunately, our Perona as well as our Bonnie is the only character here that won't be getting any cooldown. But don't worry about her. We do have the support of Mr. 3 to make sure that she is ready on on the final stage. If you do have that Mr. 3 support, you don't need to stall at all, I'm pretty sure. You might need to stall one turn, but we do get a lot of cooldown from not only Kaido, but he's also his super type as well as Marco's special. So there's a lot of different means for us to get cooldown, which allows us to get around the fact that she doesn't get any cooldown on the first stage. However, if you don't have Mr. 3, don't worry, just stall as much as you can on stage 1 and you should be fine to ensure that you can have Bonnie special ready on the final stage. Stage 2, we have a 5-turn threshold and a 5-turn defense up to get around. How we are getting around this is we are going to use the special of our Luffy. That's going to set the enemy's defense to 0 and allow us to hit the enemy through the defense up. As for the threshold, I forgot how we're actually getting around the threshold here. Yeah, we are using Kaido on stage 2. Kaido is going to be a great unit to get around the threshold. So Kaido is going to give us an attack boost. Luffy is going to give us the enemy defense down so that we can get around the enemy's defense up. And yeah, that's about it. We are saving Marco for the final stage. You can actually use the No. We aren't using Marco in this quest because he doesn't get cooldown. Don't worry about Marco. We aren't going to be using him in this quest. And then on the final stage, we are going to use the special of our Bonnie to get around the special bind as well as the special reverse. We have 3 turns of rewind now, so that's a lot of turns. But don't worry about it because our Kaido is going to get around the other turn. Then we can use the special of our Akainu. That's going to give us an attack boost. And we can get a color affinity with the special of Nami. So, the support effect of Nami. So we have a lot of stuff going on here. We have a color affinity from Nami, an all boost from Akainu, a chain lock, as well as a conditional attack boost from Perona. And yeah, we don't have an attack boost, which is a bit unfortunate. We might still actually have Marco already on the final stage, even though he's not a boosted character, because you might need to stall, and you could add a support to Marco to make sure he's ready. And that'll give you an attack boost. But either way, this team gets around all the gimmicks, and the fear that's inflicted to us past level 30 is a bit annoying, but don't worry, Bonnie does have the potential ability to resist it, so make sure your Bonnie is at least level limit broken to the point where she has her potential ability. You don't need to level it at all, you just need level 1 to get around the 1 turn of fear. That's about it for this quest. We do have Pain, but the thing is we're only using 3 specials on the final stage, 4 if you're using Marco, so it's not a lot of damage, and I'm pretty sure we will be able to tank it, especially with the support of Bonnie, the Mr. 3, which is going to allow us to reduce damage. So very solid team. Let's get into the next one, which is the mixed variant against Quick, Dex, and Int. So on this variant we get our Driven, Cerebral, and Powers getting cooldown, and having Kaido as our friend captain is really good for this one, because the fact that he does universal damage means regardless of what type the enemy is at that stage, Kaido is still going to be dealing with type advantage, so it's very nice. So Driven, Cerebral, Powers, everyone on this team gets cooldown besides Luffy as usual, but he gets the cooldown from being a boosted unit. So stage 2 here, we have to deal with the 1 turn of rewind as well as 1 turn of damage nullification and a full board of unfavorable orbs. So how we're getting around this is we are just going to be using the special of Page 1. This is X-Drake. This is a arena character. He's a very solid unit. That's going to give us a full board of matching orbs, get around the damage nullification, and we're also using Luffy before Drake. So Luffy is amazing because he's going to allow us to get our strength units 1 turn of cooldown. So that means Drake is going to get his cooldown back and we can use his special. And that's about it. We have a color affinity from Drake as well as a chain lock. So a full board of matching orbs, a chain lock, and a color affinity. It means that we should be able to get around the quest very, very easily on stage 2. Then we can go to stage 3, where we have to deal with a mixed type of 33% quick, int, and dex. Then the enemy is going to have immunity, but this time we can actually inflict them with the defense down, which is very cool. We have a 2-turn special limiter, which is really annoying, but don't worry about that because Kaido, the friend captain, does have the potential ability to resist the special limiter debuff. So make sure your Kaido friend captain is limit broken for this one. If you only have a few Kaidos, friend captain Kaidos who are limit broken, then make sure you save the limit broken one for this variant. The other ones, it doesn't really matter. You can get past it without the limit broken Kaido, but for this one it really is important, otherwise you won't be able to clear the quests. 5 turns attack down, 5 turns special bind to your crewmates, and beyond level 30 the attack down goes to 6 turns, the special bind goes to 6 turns, and the enemy will gain a defense up buff. So how we are getting around this is we are using the special of Blackbeard, and that's going to inflict the enemy with defense down to 0, as well as get around 5 of the turns of the special bind. And then he'll also proc it with a conditional attack boost for defense down enemies and give us a base attack boost. Then we have Jack, who's going to give us a chain lock, and in addition to that he has the support of this point event Free Play Kaido to give us a 1.5x ore boost for our driven and powerhouse characters. Very solid support. We then use the friend captain Kaido to give us an attack boost of 2.25x and get around the attack down. Now the defense up gets around with Blackbeard because he sets the enemy's defense down to 0. The issue here is that we do have 1 turn of special bind remaining. Now I forgot to actually add this during the creation of this team, so sorry if you guys have kind of left the video and just copied the team, but you do need the support of Sabo, which is going to get around the last turn of the special bind on the final stage. So beyond level 30 you do need that support. Before that it's really not required because there is only 5 turns which Blackbeard gets around all turns of. So that's going to be it for this team. Very happy with this. The damage is amazing for all these variants and has amazing drops and XP gains. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more content and teams like this in the future. But with all that being said, stay tuned for more Super Boss content during the period of this Kizuna, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, and I'm out.